And we are live. All right, welcome to Bolt Action 1944. This will be my first video of the year, so Happy New Year to all my listeners out there. Today I have a guest with me, Tim Krakowski. He is an experienced bolt action player, and he's going to be TOing a tournament in North Georgia at the start of February. So we're going to go over that a little bit, and then we won't have the lists. So afterwards, after the tournament's over, we'll do a review of the list and who won and how it turned out. So, Tim, tell us a little bit about your experience in your tournament.
Sure. Hey, thanks for having me on, Randy.
Yep.
So basically, I've been playing Bolt Action now for a little bit over a year. I played a lot of other tabletop war games and got into Bolt Action. Had a great time last year at Warzone, which was in February, and I was really looking forward to playing Warzone in February. And then when I realized it had been moved, I thought, man, that's an opportunity to
Yeah,
host an event.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got a pretty good group of players, pretty local to this area. Um, just did a little bit of coordination with a local store, and things just sort of fell into place.
That's good. All right. So this is the tournament. Let's see. Let's go back here. We want to go back to the first slide. So it's going to be called the North Georgia Bolt Action Bonanza.
That's
Is
right.
that correct?
I was
All
looking
right.
for some alliteration, so Bolt Action
Yeah.
Bonanza was as good as I can come up with. I'm not a real creative guy.
Yeah, I don't suppose you have. I saw the picture of your trophy. That looks impressive.
Yeah, I've got it right here. I
You
don't
do?
know if you can see it. Yep,
Yeah.
had this trophy made up. Uh,
Nice.
we're not in elementary school, so everyone does not get a trophy. Only one person is going to get a trophy.
Yeah, there's no participation trophies, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
However, there will be prize. I got prize support from Warlord, who's been just awesome. So
Yeah.
there will be prizes for everyone who attends, and I got the prize pack in, and there's a lot of good stuff that they sent me.
Cool. So you're going to do what? I guess first, second, and third probably, and then some other special awards.
Yeah, my thought was first, second, third, pretty standard stuff.
Yeah.
Um, also, a best painted unit or squad. So if you want to enter between the first and second games, you can put your unit on display, and then everyone who is an attendee can vote. The person getting the most votes will get that award, and then we'll do a best sportsman, which is pretty standard. At
Yeah.
the end of the day, everyone will get to vote on who their favorite opponent was, and then we'll pick the top vote getter will win the best sportsman award.
Very good. Yeah, it's always a good one to have because sportsmanship's what the game's really about.
Yep.
All right. So the tournament structure here, you're going to have 3 rounds, 2.5 hours each.
Correct.
1,100 points. So did you pick that for a particular reason as far as points?
I did. I picked it because that's going to be the same structure as Warzone, um,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to happen in May. I think the end of May
Right.
this year.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that uh, this is the first time hosting this particular event, and it might be a nice feeder event and give people an opportunity to try some ideas at the same points value. The one thing that's a little bit different is I've never seen a medic on the board ever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so to offer some incentive for people to play medics, if you put a medic in your list, you can have 1,110 points. So your medic's only going to cost you 13. Will we see medics? I don't know, but it's out there. It's not a
Well,
dramatic difference, but it is a little bit different.
yeah. So actually, to that, I'm probably going to be running my Rangers. Not to
Me
give
too.
away anything on my list, but a Ranger medic thought crossed my mind because they get to lead the way, and that means they're going to move up with the Rangers. And
There
if
you
he
go.
saves one veteran ranger, that's probably worth bringing him.
It is, and you have a 1 in 6 chance for every wound that you suffer to small arms. So once
Yeah,
again, if you're rolling those sixes, the medic's going to be awesome, and if you're rolling ones, the medic's going to be terrible.
yeah, yeah. Well, at the very least, he's a dice in the bag too. That's something to think
That's
about.
true. It's a cheap order die.
Yeah, he can't take objectives, but it does help your dice count. So,
Correct.
and you got a 24 order dice list. I think that's going to be 1,100 points. That's going to be accommodate just about anybody's list, I think.
Yeah, I chose that um, out in basically being inspired by um, Bo Mortenson's tournament compendium. That's what he recommended at 1,100 points, and so that's why
Okay.
that's in there.
Yeah, I mean that allows like a Japanese player to bring, MSU without getting crazy stupid because you can go 30, 40 dice easily with Russians and Japanese now. So,
Yep.
and that would bog the game down horrendously if you had 30 dice and somebody bag.
Yes, indeed. And I guess the other thing I'll mention is we have 2.5 hour rounds, but at 2 hours and 15 minutes, I'm going to call 15 minutes remaining, and that's really you finish the turn that you're on.
Yeah,
Don't start another turn within that last 15 minutes.
yeah, yeah. That shouldn't be a problem. I think at 1,100, I think you'll be good to go. Everybody wants to finish the game. I hate getting stuck in round 3 or 4 because you had so many dice on both sides, you couldn't get through them. So,
Yep, right on.
yeah. All right. And so you're going to do this a little different. You have 8 different missions,
That's
and
right.
you're going to draw out of the bag for a mission each round.
Correct. So the basic idea behind this was I know that certain scenarios favor certain list builds. And so I wanted to have a variety of possible missions. Now we're only going to play 3 of them, but someone who is building a list and preparing for the event can't sort of min max a single mission knowing that they're going to get that one.
Yeah.
So the idea behind this is to create variety and to create uh, uh, a, a number of different possible play styles so that one list type or one list archetype doesn't have an advantage necessarily over others.
Yeah. Yeah. And this will also allow guys to practice the missions. They won't know which one, but you can go through and practice all 8 of them with
You
your
can.
list and see how you do with them. So
Yeah, and I've
that
played every single one of these more than once with
okay.
a variety of people. I actually made a couple of tweaks to some of the rules based on our experience. Like nothing serious, but we found a couple of corner cases here and there that might be exploited, and I tried to close those loopholes. So the
Yeah.
basic idea behind this is to try and make the missions as fun as possible, but not to give anyone an auto win because they brought a certain type of list or
Certain type
deployed
of
a certain
list.
type of way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We played a couple of these here a while back too.
Hmm.
So, and I think they worked out pretty well. Um, so tournament special rules, I think we might have even covered most of this. The medic, um, so 10 points, you can go up to 1110 on your list if you take a medic. So that's the discount. Hard copies, that's really important, I think, for guys to bring a hard copy because I hate looking at a list on a phone. You know?
Oh, yeah, me too. It's just nice to be courteous to your opponent.
Mm-hmm.
Have a list that you can hand him, and you guys can go over it, and then refer back to it during the middle of a game because at some point there might be a question about a rule that's attached to a unit or what have you. Just making that easy to do is something
Yeah.
that I always appreciate as a player, and I'd just like to encourage everyone to do that. And then also, right, the lists themselves. Uh, it just makes it easier if you can share uh, hard paper. I guess I'm a boomer that way. But yeah, I don't like looking at the phone for a list
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. It's much quicker and easier to reference it on a sheet of paper. it is.
That's right.
Look at that one. Yeah. And then infiltrators, something I think Warlord should modify their infiltrator rule. Not allow guys to deploy a line of infiltrators on your back line. So you've got it here where they have to be so 12 inches outside of the deployment zone or the deployment zone edge.
Yeah, you know what? That probably should read deployment zone edge.
Okay.
But again, I picked this rule out from the Commander's Compendium. This was another rule that made sense to me. And again, the main idea here is once again just to prevent someone from boxing their opponent in before the game starts, right? Because that's not fun. So yeah, I'll make a change. I think to that, just to say deployment zone edge. So that's if you take your standard long edge, right? You've got 12 inches, plus a millimeter or whatever from the back, but then also from the side, you got that 12 inches that you got to come. You have to respect to allow your opponent to be able to bring their units in.
Yeah, and that's fair. And really, you wouldn't want your units unless you're just really just trying to block them, which is the wrong way to play. But you wouldn't want them that deep anyway because they're going to get annihilated as soon as your opponent comes on the board.
That's what I'm thinking here. Is if you want to put something at 13 inches of your opponent, then good luck. But the point where we're trying to prevent is you parking a bunch of units in your opponent's deployment zone and then boxing them in. So instead of an entire deployment zone, he has this tiny little corner that you can come in and basically just not play the game at that point.
Yeah, they can do it where you don't even get a single unit on the board if you're playing meeting engagement. The game is pretty much over before you even start.
Right. So what's the point of that?
Yeah, that's terrible. All right, so let's talk about the missions. Oh, I got to go back to it. All right, so there is the leader. This is the PDF you sent me. So we're going to be starting at, I got to make this bigger.
Yeah, we can start at 10 a.m. For registration. First game will run from 10:30 to 1. Then we'll have lunch from 1 to 1:30. So this is one of the other things that I try to do is the place that we're hosting this tournament actually has a full kitchen, and your lunch is included with your ticket. So if you buy a ticket to play, you'll also get lunch as part of that, right? And then we'll play games 2 and 3 in the afternoon. Hopefully, wrap up by 7:15 to 7:45 to pass out some prizes, and then that's early enough that everyone can get home at a reasonable time.
Yeah, and that's a pretty good deal. Lunch plus the ticket. I mean, that's great. All right, so we just talked about all the stuff. Let's go on to the next one. Medics, we talked about that. All right, so here's the first mission. Seek and destroy. This is kind of a typical scenario, but you've added secondaries, right?
Gosh, I'm having a hard time seeing that.
Yeah, you might have to make your screen bigger.
Yeah, there we go. So this is seek and destroy. It's pretty standard.
Yeah, right? This one. So I don't see a secondary in this one.
Yeah. I mean this one's almost straight out of the book. I picked this one from the Commander's Compendium, and it's this one's just a copy paste.
Yep. Okay. All right, and then breakthrough. I think this one's pretty much standard.
This one's also standard. This is one that everyone should be used to playing, right? And I wanted to keep some standard missions as a possibility, right? And you got to score more than 2 points than your opponent at the end of the game. Otherwise, it's a draw.
Okay. So I see here that it has. So I guess you're going to roll for whether your quarters or long table after you draw the mission.
Yes, and my intent is that everyone plays the same game.
Yeah,
So if
yeah,
we pick breakthrough, like I will roll for table quarters or long edge for deployment type, and then everyone will play the same type.
okay, yeah. All right, pin grid. So this is one I think is out of the Commander's Compendium.
It is.
So this is quite interesting. I've played this several times with different people, and I kind of like it.
Yeah. So one change I made here is that if you want spotters, spotters can infiltrate, but spotters cannot
Right.
claim objectives. So that's
Yeah.
that's that's a modification because if you pay for your spotter and you've got a mortar or something that could use a spotter, but then are prevented from using that spotter. I felt like that was not great. This is one of the rules that I made a slight change to that for this tournament. But your
Yeah.
spotter's not going to claim an objective. If your spotter gets wiped out, your spotter still gets wiped out. It is what it is. But you can't park a spot around an objective and claim it.
So what about raiders there? Just a second. It's probably my phone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So how
Cut out.
how are you going to treat those?
I didn't hear the question. You cut out.
Yeah. So like forward observers and snipers and such that can normally claim objectives. How are you going to treat those for this mission?
Forward observers are not spotters, right? Snipers are not spotters. So the only infiltrator can be a spotter that's attached to, a specific spotter that's attached to an indirect fire unit.
Hmm. Will they be able to claim one of these objectives then?
A spotter cannot. But if you deploy a sniper
Yeah.
and a sniper is not for this game, a sniper is not an infiltrator, right? That
Okay.
sniper would be able to claim an objective.
All right. Heartbreak Ridge. So walk us through this one a little bit.
Yeah. So the idea here is to uh, collect as many objectives as possible at the end of the game. Right, they're deployed. Um, one in your home zone, one in the center, and one in your opponent's home zone. Right. So
Okay.
if you own your home objective at the end of the game, you get a point. If you claim the center objective at the end of the game, you get 3 points. If you claim the objective in your opponent's zone, uh, you get 5 points. Uh, for this scenario, we'll use the standard bolt action sticky objectives. So it's possible to run up and claim an objective early, and if you can hold it, then so be it. At the end of the game, if you
Mm.
hold it, that's yours. But
Okay.
there's also um, a you get a victory point for each enemy unit destroyed. So if and the idea behind that is you can't just send your guys out uh, uh, to claim an objective knowing that they're going to wipe out. Like if you want to do that, that's fine, but there's a cost to you. You might claim that objective, but then if you lose an order die, you'll give your opponent a VP. So
Okay.
that's the basic idea behind that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This one is called.
Yeah, this one's from the Zern mission pack. It's exactly the same that you would see from his pack. The things that are different about it is the deployment zone is only 6 inches instead of the normal 12, and that basically
Mm,
divides the board up into 4 quadrants, and there will be an objective at in each quadrant, and I think one in the center. Um, this one to claim objectives, it's not the standard V3 sticky objective rules. You only can claim objectives at the end of the game.
okay.
Vehicles do not contest, right? So normally a vehicle would contest an objective. In this case, vehicles do not contest objectives. The only infantry type units, right, heavy weapons, artillery, things like that, can claim objectives. But the way an objective is claimed is you have to have your unit within 3 inches, and no enemy unit can be within 3. So
Okay.
if you had 10 units and I had one on top of the objective at the end of the game, nobody claims it. That's the way that the rules are written. Now, the other thing about this scenario that's a little bit crazy is if at the end of the game there is no winner, and there's
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and talk about that again, just briefly, what we were discussing
okay, do we
about
want
the
to
end of
start?
the No, just the end of the game. What you
Yeah.
were, yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the game, uh, if there is no clear winner on objectives, and there's 5 points available, and you can win by 1 in this scenario. But let's say that you're tied 2-2, 1-1, whatever it is. The uh, the win condition shifts to kill points. So
Okay.
it's not objectives plus kill points, it's objectives or kill points. But this one you can win objective by 1.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Normally kill points are by 2 and objectives are by 1. So, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, so talk us over this one.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Brady, you cut out again. What was the question?
Yeah. So walk us through this, secure the stockpiles.
Okay, so this is another objective type mission. But
Mhm.
what's unique about it is the way that there's 2 things that are unique about it. One is the way objectives are claimed. Um, you 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 score points by claiming objectives on turns 2, 4, and 6, and 7 if you get to turn 7. So it's a running total and accumulation. So running out and claiming an objective early is going to be beneficial. Um, but you don't score objectives every turn, like only on the even turns. There is
Okay.
a little table here that talks about how you can secure objectives. Uh, this is, again, a different model for securing objectives. In this uh, scenario, vehicles can secure objectives or can contribute to securing objectives. And it's basically the player that has at least one more secure point than his opponent claims the point for that turn. So, as an example, let's say you put an infantry unit within 3 inches of an objective, and I have
Yeah.
2 infantry units within 3 inches of that objective, then I would get the points for that turn. If you
Okay.
had an infantry and a vehicle, um, which would give you 1.5 secure points, and I had 2 infantry units, it would be contested and nobody would get it. So,
Okay.
and the other thing that I'll mention is transports. Um, Units riding in transports do not count. Like you got to get out of the transport to secure it.
Mm, okay.
That's the basic idea here. But you're scoring points on turns 2, 4, and 6, and you get a running total. So it's possible to get a lot of points in this scenario. Okay.
And the objective will be, is it like a T3 plus a certain number or?
There's 3 objectives. If you flip to the next page,
Oh, okay. Yep.
right, it shows you where to deploy the 3 objectives. So this is table quarters.
Yeah.
And the objectives kind of follow a diagonal on the non-deployment side. So the other thing that's unique about this mission is you can see where your reserves can enter. So it's not quite outflanking, but it can be kind of outflanking. But you don't have the option to come in behind your opponent, right? So that's the idea here. So uh, and that's if you want to bring reserves in on you'll have the option to bring them into whatever sort of table quarter that you need them, but not behind your opponent.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Next one is recover the supplies. So this is obviously another objective.
Yes, but you've got to move this one, right? So
Hmm.
vehicles cannot claim objectives in this. You have to have an infantry or heavy weapons or artillery unit to move up and touch the supply cache, and then
Okay.
you able to move the supply cache towards your board edge, right? And if you are able to exit take a supply cache and exit, you'll get 5 points. If you are within your deployment zone with a supply cache, you get 3 points, and you get 2 points if you control it outside of your deployment zone. And then there's some special rules around capturing supply caches. You could drop it at any time if you choose to. Um, uh, if you assault a unit that has a supply cache and you win that assault, then you have the supply cache. It goes
Hmm.
to you, right? So, uh, yeah. So that's basically the way that this works. Um,
Yeah.
once
I
I
like
got a score
this.
+2.
Yeah. This.
Sorry, your internet must be out again.
Yeah. Have you play tested this one?
I have.
Yeah. It looks like an interesting scenario.
Yeah, this one is actually one that it was inspired by one of the other games that I play, Star Wars Legion. They have a very similar um, uh, scenario, and so
Yeah.
I know that it worked there, and it also I've tested it a couple of times in bolt action, and it works. The thing is, um, you can't claim an objective with vehicles. Vehicles aren't really contesting objectives, right? I suppose if you wanted to wait, and I haven't actually played this, but someone might, right? If you wanted to run up a transport and then load your unit into the transport and then stay that turn because the transport can't move
Yeah.
the time um, uh, the turn where it's loaded up, then that might be a viable strategy. Um,
Yeah. Well, I know in V3 they won't let you. A lot of the missions that are like that, they won't let you do that because it's too easy just to zip off the board
yeah.
once you load them. But probably come up if you play this scenario. Somebody will ask.
Yeah. I've
Yeah.
played it a couple of times, and it's no one's even attempted to do so because it's like dodgeball. Everyone's running for
Um,
those objectives at the beginning, and then if you spend a turn getting into a transport, you're probably going to die.
Yeah, they're going to shoot at you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. And land grab, is this one different from the standard?
This is a little bit different. I pulled this one, I think, from the Warzone pack last year. Um,
Okay.
so there's those initial preparatory bombardment rules that are a little bit different. Um, and I added a uh, uh, scoring at the end of the game. 1 point, you get 1 point for each unit you have within the center 12-inch radius circle. 2 points for a neutral table corner. 4 points for a unit in your opponent's deployment corner. So that little center area, because you can get to the center of the table and there's this sort of crisscross, and I could be in maybe two quarters at once. So to prevent that,
Yeah.
the overall center, that's just worth 1 point.
Okay. Yeah, that'll keep people from. Yeah, and maybe a unit can only claim one quarter, one section, and that
Well,
way.
this will specifically prevent that, right? You're only
Yeah.
in you're only going to be in one, right? And I suppose if you wanted to straddle your opponents and a neutral, then you get the top one. You don't get them both. And so that's another good call out, and I'll add that to the back.
I think that was the last mission there.
Hmm.
All right. And let's see, let's go to, did you want to put your, see, I don't see your slide. Did you take that out, or did we want to pop that up there?
Oh, I was sharing my screen.
Getting a ticket.
All right,
There we
you
go.
able to see that?
Yeah, so there's, we'll leave this up for a minute. Anybody can use their phone to click on the little barcodes, and I will include the links in the description down below. That the knows how many people are coming. Right, Tim. Everybody needs to buy a ticket ahead of time. That way the store knows.
That is
how many
correct.
people. Yeah. Okay. And you're not, like I say, you're not having a list deadline, so we won't have a list to talk about. But afterwards, I'll get you back on here, and we'll go over the tournament and see how.
Okay, sounds good.
Still getting a little bit of lag. So anything else there, Tim?
No, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to
Yeah.
talk about the tournament, and I hope everyone who can come comes, and we're just gonna have a great day.
And, good luck with it.
Great, thank you.
All right.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.